and below seasonal. Now, Rachel, when we talk about below normal amounts of moisture, it really has, you could look at that and go, well, it's going to be dry, it's going to be beautiful, unless it's too hot. And you have the temperatures.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, Chris, precipitation is interesting too, because one neighborhood may see above normal precipitation for the summer, while the neighborhood next to it sees below, because thunderstorms, they can be very, very specific in who they target. Now, when it comes to heat and humidity, we are expecting to see a hot and humid summer. And as we look at the numbers towards the end of the summer, we are expecting them to be above average. Where things should be a little bit cooler is out in Atlantic Canada, where the sea surface temperatures are a little below normal. And you in Newfoundland, you're feeling that cooler stretch right now. Summer is not showing up for you anytime soon. As we look out to BC and up towards Whitehorse as well, another above seasonal trend. That's what our forecast is slowly starting to tell us. Now, I want to turn things over to health and weather right now, because when we see these hot and humid conditions, many people like it, but many also have health concerns. Here is a look at some of the most dangerous things that a human can experience in these very hot conditions. And Manitoba, one of the hottest places in the country today. The last time Winnipeg saw 30 degrees was September 17th, 2019. Likely to hit 30 today, and we are watching the thunderstorm potential in this area.
Rachel Schoutsen is here, everybody. How about it?
What a welcome, Chris. Thanks for that. Now, summer forecast. Would you rank summer as your favorite season?
Oh, easily. Far and away, yes.
Yeah.
Summer, by far.
I feel like I'm one of those people that actually wouldn't. Summer for me, you know, I find the extremes to be challenging sometimes. You know, when you're blasting the air conditioning all season long, and we're going to talk about some of those patterns right now.
Sure, let's do it. We'll open up with temperatures. Now, again, Rachel, as is always the case, we have to be careful. When people see above average for the coast, and they see above average for most of Ontario, southern Quebec, they think, oh, the entire summer season. When we look back on it, we'll go, you know what? It actually was maybe a little bit above seasonal.
You got it. When you see above seasonal in the seasonal forecast, it doesn't mean every single day we're going to be 35 degrees and cracking records. Nope. However, we do notice that this very warm and humid trend, people, that's not surprising. That's the type of weather we usually see in this area. So tipping a little bit above seasonal and then a little below. And you know, our friends in Newfoundland, they've really been experiencing this so far as we end off spring.
Yeah, staying near normal for generally most of the country. Now, when it comes to precipitation, we're also looking at essentially near normal across the rest of the country as well. We do have that slightly below seasonal that's up around Hudson Bay, but ironically enough, is where we've seen all of the storm patterns that even continue today chart their path.
For sure, and we're going to show you that storm risk in a second. But Chris, when we talk about thunderstorms, you know, it's very hit and miss. We know how targeted thunderstorms can be. With one area, for example, we see in Toronto, the Don Valley Parkway, let's say, absolutely flooding, and then Mississauga doesn't even see a raindrop in that scenario, right? So when it comes to above seasonal, some areas, some neighborhoods are really going to differ.
And that's what we call air mass triggered thunderstorms. A lot of it has to do with the heat, the humidity, the convection, or the lake breeze convergence. Now, heat, I said heat about 3 times there.
Yep.
This product shows that perfectly.
We're sort of seeing that today, extending within southern Manitoba and northwestern Ontario.
And I'm going to bet you that that system is going to continue along that very same path, down along the shores of Lake Michigan, and then into Lake Huron, and then into southern Ontario.
You got it. Ah, the summer forecast, that just sounds relaxing. It just sounds nice, doesn't it? Summer, what can you expect across Canada? We're breaking down all of those details here on TV. Chris May will be joining me alongside Mark Robinson as well, talking about that storm risk. Now, what you're looking at here is the drought monitor across Canada. Now, usually we would look at the drought monitor and then that would stop you from having a campfire, right? Unfortunately, not the greatest when you're out camping. You'll want that fire to keep warm and, of course, to make your s'mores. However, this year, COVID-19 is stopping people from getting out to their campsites. But if you still want to have those s'mores like me, I'm a big s'mores lover, you can do it in your own backyard. We've got some great ideas for you. Check this out. Yes, you can. And s'mores in the kitchen is easy. You can make this in any size. Grab an oven-safe dish, line the bottom with chocolate chips. Place that into the warm oven just to melt. Once it's all gooey, swirl it around, top it with marshmallows, put it back in the oven, broil the top until it turns golden brown, then grab a graham cracker and dive in. And believe me, that shot was not just for TV. I certainly ate those s'mores. Now, if you are going to be camping this summer, do watch for the above normal precipitation trend. This is hinting at sort of a storm track that could be developing across the prairies. And you know, we have seen this to be a pretty popular storm track already. Today, for example, within the southern Interlake region of Manitoba, we're looking at those storms and into northwestern Ontario as well. I know it's going to be so much easier when things are back to normal. We can open the campsites, we can enjoy summer at its fullest. I know I booked my campsite for Killbear at the end of September, hoping things are open and back to normal by then. Now, when we look at some of the summer heat, of course, being on a campsite, being in a tent when it's all hot and humid, that can be a really sticky situation. We are looking at above normal conditions across southern Ontario and southern Quebec. Doesn't mean every day will be like this, but on average, we are expecting to see a hotter summer. And as we look into Atlantic Canada, near normal, a very slow start to the summer season. A lot of that northerly flow keeping Newfoundland especially a little seasonally cool. And we are expecting to see those temperatures even out. Summer will show up for you out east. Great explanation. A lot covered there, Kelly. Thank you for that. And remember, we really start to see the hurricanes ramping up, becoming more and more active end of August, beginning of September. That's a prime time. So at this point, we've already seen Arthur and Bertha develop. None of them hurricanes. They did become tropical storms. So we're waiting to see that further development, and also watching this in the Gulf here. This could potentially become Cristobal. So watching that over the next few days. Now, as we continue on with our summer forecast, talking about storms, not as big as a hurricane, but sometimes thunderstorms can drop just as much rainfall depending on how much moisture they have, how powerful they are. We are expecting to see that storm track essentially slice across Alberta, Saskatchewan, dip through the Interlake region, and end up within southern Ontario. So these regions expecting to see above normal precipitation, and that's just because of how active they are expected to be. Many areas across Canada, though, expecting to see a normal year when it comes to precipitation. Now, when it comes to heat, yes, above normal for many places, and that extends all the way up into Whitehorse, which we've seen already moving down the coast of BC, extreme amounts of heat within the US, and then that heat and humidity extending across the Great Lakes. This is a key zone for a humid summer, and we are expected to see that extending into Montreal as well. And then more of a northerly flow keeps Atlantic Canada near normal. A slow start to the season, but summer will be showing up for you in Atlantic Canada.